I want to thank you all for coming in today. I know you could be running over to see Andre Agassi. They didn't tell me I had the spot right before him, but I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm Darryl Adams. I am, again, the Rock and Roll Hip Hop and Soul Superintendent and thought leader and technology evangelist. My job, since I retired from being a superintendent, is to go around the country and help communities and schools and districts eliminate that digital divide. So I've started my company called Adams Edutainment Services, and basically I like to go around and do a little music with my presentation, so it's not so boring all the time. So I'm going to ask you guys to join in with me. And by the way, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Any teachers in the house? Well, let's give them a hand anyway. Teachers are the backbone of education. So what I want you to do now is stand up right before lunch. This is going to be interactive. I got the words on the board here. It's very simple. It's connectricity. I can feel the energy. Connectricity powers you and me. So are you ready? Can you sing along with me now? All right. It's very simple. You put your hands together like this. Come on. Yeah. Remember that from The Wizard of Oz? Oh, yeah. Oh, yo. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Connectricity. I can feel the energy. Connectricity powers you and me. Come on. Connectivity. I can feel the energy. Come on. Connectricity powers you and me. My turn. We all came in. Now we're friends. Connected now. Shall we begin to let the knowledge ebb and flow? Shall we all be leaving in the know? Do to have some fun as we learn? We can break it down. Don't be concerned. So release your happy and your dancing shoes. It's a nightish party. First to use. Come on, Ariel. Come on. Oh, we yo. Come on. Oh, we yo. Oh, we yo. Oh, we yo. You remember that from The Wizard of Oz? Come on, people. Come on. Oh, yeah, we working hard now. Sing it. Connectricity. I can feel the energy. Come on. Connectricity powers you and me. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is where you start the show out today. Thank you. You can have a seat now. We're going to get everything going around about students in education in America and how things need to change. So I was fortunate enough to be in a school district in Southern California, Coachella Valley Unified School District. And what we did was worked under the motto of we shall leave no child off line, we shall leave no teacher behind. So I was very fortunate because this is one of the poorest communities in America, but we truly helped to lead the transformation of education in America. Little Coachella Valley Unified School District, 40 miles east of Palm Springs. Have any of you ever been to Coachella Fest, the music festival? Yes, we're on the other side of the tracks for that. So let me talk a little bit about what we did. And I'll do it first by talking about the big goal and big vision that was developed and the why behind the vision. Then I'll talk about how students should always be first. I also talk about the constituent buy-in that was important to get this done. It was based on the principle of trust, love, and connectivity and collaboration. And I also talk about if fail to plan, plan to fail to pilot, and the project may fail. And of course, it takes a team to realize a dream. So when I came to Coachella in 2010, this is what I found. Trailer home parks, some people living in conditions that you would think you're in a third world country. And I thought to myself, this can't be America. But it was, and it was in Southern California, 40 miles from Palm Springs, Indian Wells, Rancho Mirage, some of the richest communities in America. So as I looked at the demographics of the district in 2010, we have about 18,000 students at the time, and we have 1,250 square miles to cover. We're larger than the state of Rhode Island. Anyone from Rhode Island? Oh, sorry, but we are larger than the state of Rhode Island. We also have 98% of our students are Latino. 100% of the students, though, this is a key indicator, were on free and reduced lunch. That talked about the social economic status of this community. 70% of our students were graduated from high school at the time, and 60% were English language learners. There was also a small undocumented student population. Some of our students were coming from communities or from the mountain regions in Mexico where they didn't even really speak Spanish. They had their own dialect. But we also had to deal with the special education issues that came up. You know, the federal government doesn't give you the money that really takes to service those kids, but we have about 12% of our kids in special ed services. And that's sort of a high number when you look at the numbers. But the most telling statistic for me was the fact that only 16.5% of the students who went on to college graduated from college. And that, to me, was educational malpractice. Something had to change. And some people didn't like the fact that I would say that, but it was true to my understanding of what education should do. Also, there was pretty much no technology in the district, so we had a moral imperative not only to eliminate that digital divide, but also to provide equity and access for every single student. And most importantly for me is always, how do we help them find their passion in life so they never have to work a day in their life? And I was very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to have an opportunity to work in a school district like that. After 30 years in education, I was in my 24th year when I went there. I had been in 8 different districts. A couple of them were very affluent districts, some were not, but this was the most challenging one that I have ever been in. But for me, I love challenges. I think with challenges comes opportunities. And so I knew that we needed to have a big goal and a big vision to kind of take that district from where they were to where they could be. And you know, the way to do that is to start building the trust with the community, to listen, to go out and talk about the things that are possible. Some people thought, well, this is impossible. We can't do some of the things you're talking about. But we talked about, let's explore, let's create, let's imagine for a minute. And of course, one of the things I knew that was going to be very important to our students is that they not be digital, isolated from the digital realm that was happening in education. So we began a journey on the road to educational excellence. I went to the community and said, look, all of our students need to have the tools to be able to compete with other students in America. If they don't have digital devices and a 21st century curriculum and rail-trained teachers, they're not going to be able to compete. And we're going to continue to have the problem with students not graduating ready for college, career, and citizenship. And so we talked about those 21st century skills that are very, very important to all of our students. How do we truly prepare them for college, career, and citizenship? Some people said, wait a minute, some of your students aren't citizens. And I said, I beg to differ with you. It's not where they were born, it's where they are, where they need to go, and where we want to take them. We looked at every student as our own, as part of the family. And we wanted them to be creators, to be communicators, critical thinkers, and to be able to collaborate. So we came up with a program called the Road to Educational Excellence, and it was designed to provide 18,000 iPads for 18,000 students so they'd be ready for college, career, and citizenship by the age of 18. And happy to have here John Couch, Vice President at Apple Education, who came over, Apple Incorporated, who came over and really showed us the possibilities. And John is speaking today at 3 o'clock, John, correct? So you want to go and hear what he has to say. Just a great, great supporter for all of us in education in making that leap and to ensure all our students have access. So we began the process. It was iPads for all. Every student can have an iPad from preschool to high school. What did I do with my water? Anyway, every student can have an iPad from preschool to high school. And that was pretty noble, big goal to have, because how do you pay for that? Well, the only way for us to pay for it, because we have a low socioeconomic community, is to go to the people and say, are you willing to tax yourself to do it? So we had to explain to them why this was important, and so we put together, thank you, we put together what we call Transformation Day, and we went to the community, and we went to the schools, and John brought in his team from Apple, and we demonstrated the use of technology. And you know, our students were like, really, let's do this. And our teachers were like, okay, I want to do this, but are you going to train me to do it? And then we had meetings, though, with the elected leaders and everyone to talk about the importance of this effort. So what we did was we came up with a pilot program, and this is going to move, I'm sure, at some point. Okay, I don't think I turned it off. There we go. We came up with a pilot program for our teachers. We wanted them to be the iPad pilot teachers, who would be sort of the first adopters, to be able to show other teachers how important this was going to be, how helpful it could be to their teaching. And one of the things I talked to the teachers about was this is going to make you more efficient and effective in the classroom. It's going to reach more students, and we're going to truly start preparing them for college, career, and citizenship. So that pilot program is about 300 teachers out of the 900 who applied. We selected 120 teachers, and we began the process of training them up, giving them the devices first before the kids had them, and then we were able to start then giving the students the iPads. And we sort of tricked everyone, because we had, you know, most of the pilots, you know, you do 10%. We had 5,600 iPads that we were able to buy with Title I funds. But those devices can't go home because they're Title I funds. We wanted funds so we can provide the students with the iPads so they could take them home. They can truly individualize and personalize those devices. But it worked brilliantly because the students went home and told mom and dad that, look, we get to use an iPad. This is 2010, remember, before, you know, we had a lot of the things going on with Chromebooks and some of the other devices. And iPads and Apple products has always been the best for me. User-friendly, you know, easy to learn, you know, really almost kind of made specifically in a lot of ways for the education community. But we started to get teacher buy-in because the pilot teachers were showing their fellow teachers how effective they were becoming using these devices. Students were going home telling mom and dad, wow, this is great. I get to interact, you know, with technology, and it's not just about us, you know, sitting there reading a textbook. The classroom became the world because they had access now. And then, of course, parents thought, this is good because I want to be able to provide this to my student, but I can't afford it. So we began the process of talking to them about it. And we put together a campaign. It was called Measure X. And I was wondering, why give me X? Because you give me A, like the grade A or something. But we tend to turn around. So X is for excellent education. And so we, you know, raised the money to do phone banking and to go out and talk to the community and to talk to them about the importance of it. And this was during the 2012 campaign when President Obama was going for his second term. And we knew there would be a big turnout. In our community, we knew there'd be a big turnout. And there was. And Measure X was, you know, it was a huge endeavor. It's $42 million that we were going to tax the people. They were willing to tax themselves so students can have these devices. The program was designed to use half the money for the first phase to build up the infrastructure and to give the devices to the students. And then the second $21 million we're going to use to sustain the program over 10 years. And so when that day came, we had people coming to our district. We even had the state superintendent. He came and looked at the program and supported the program. We had legislators come support the program. So November 6th, the program was voted on by the people, and this video was made to sort of show them how it all came together. As superintendent of the Coachella Valley Unified School District, I am honored to serve some of the poorest of the poor in our nation. 97% of our students are Hispanic, and 90% receive free and reduced lunch. And of the small number of students that pursue college, only 16% graduate. Surely something needed to change. And that change is taking place. We are transforming our district to a one-to-one 24/7 mobile learning environment. Using Apple Technologies, products, and services, our goal, prepare all students for college, career, and citizenship by providing 18,000 iPads for 18,000 students. In April, we traveled to Cupertino. Immediately, we knew that Apple possessed the right approach, the right products, and the right services. In May, we held Transformation Day to chart our path forward. In July, we qualified Measure X, a general obligation bond. In August, we began an ambitious iPad pilot program by placing 5,600 iPads in the hands of our students, with 120 teachers using iPads and MacBook Pros like pros. By utilizing Apple technologies and applications like Keynote, Pages, iMovie, and GarageBand, our data indicated that the pilot program students were more engaged and more excited than ever about their learning. And most importantly, these students are doing better academically and socially. So we are happy to announce that in November, our voters passed Measure X with 67% of the vote. Therefore, our journey continues with Apple products and services at the core of the Common Core. And now, a new and true 21st century teaching and learning environment is possible because we now understand the need to marry technology, content, and pedagogy to ensure that learning is the focus, not memory. Together, we are now paving the way by utilizing iPads and challenge-based learning to transform the way we communicate, create, think, and collaborate. Some say think outside the box. We say there is no box. The question was, what kind of world do you want? The answer is a world where hope plus equity plus Apple leads to a better day and a better way. Thank you. I want to thank John Couch, too, and Apple. They were so instrumental, and I know I mentioned Apple a lot of that, and it's not an Apple commercial. It's just they were so important for that community to believe in themselves. Because everybody knows Apple's one of the best companies in the world. I mean, I'm not just saying it because he's here, you know. And but the fact that they took that kind of interest in our community really helped change things for us and for me as well. And those students, look at this smile on their faces. It's just unbelievable. When you go in the classroom, you see this magic occurring. and you know that it's just a beautiful thing to see. So I'm running out of time, so I'm going to go through a few quick other videos. Yes, it passed with 67% of the vote. It was a landslide victory for transformation. And one of the things I would say is that leaders don't empower people, they bring out the power in the people. And the power of the people in Coachella has helped to change their community and to be one of the leaders in our nation in moving forward. You know, we're very important to have teachers involved in our program to really train them up. We devised programs for them that was very important, that they feel comfortable with the devices. They got them first. We even had our own micro-credentialing program called Samurai. We took the Samurai model and we added the advanced instructor piece to it. We had cohorts that we put together so teachers would get an opportunity to learn how to use those devices and continue that training, 6-week courses, and at the end they got their badging and their certification. And I was getting to the point of let's do some compensation, but as I retired, I think hopefully they will continue with that. Connectivity was an issue. And then we developed the Wi-Fi on Wheels program because some of our students were not connected. We have students in rural areas, 1,250 square miles, so we had to find a way to get them connected because having a device and not being able to connect at home, I had promised the parents 24/7 connectivity. So I said, let's put the routers on the buses, park them in the neighborhood, and this is what happened. This is a quick video, very quick, if it goes. I got 8 minutes, come on. Yeah. This is PBS that came out and did a story.
As we looked into how many of our parents and families were connected or not connected, we were sort of surprised. There was up to 30–35% who were not, because we do have a lot of trailer home parks in our district, and so they don't have connectivity. So we started thinking about ways that we can get those students connected, because what I was finding is students were coming to the school and sitting in the parking lot at 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night so they can connect to do their homework. And so we said we have to do better. Well, we have buses. Let's put Wi-Fi routers on the bus, park them in the trailer home park or on a reservation where students are, and let them connect 24/7. Well, we ran into another challenge. The battery's going to run down. So the next step was, oh, let's put solar panels on the buses so they can be charged overnight. And so that's
okay. So I'll move on for that, but that was important. The Wi-Fi on Wheels program just took off worldwide. Now, this small community is getting calls from New Zealand, from Great Britain, from the UK. Oh, that's the same thing, I'm sorry. But anyway, you get my message. We were getting messages from all over. And then the U.S. Navy came out to visit us. They wanted to see our program. We had the Ohio State University come out to visit us. And just communities and school districts from all over the country wanted to see how this little Poorest school district was able to do that. And we even got a visit from one of our FCC commissioners at the time who went to lobby and say, why can't we pay for these routers on these buses with E-rate funds? And most importantly, why can't we become our own self-provisioning internet provider? And she was impressed with the program.
Federal Communications Commissioner was also in attendance today and recognized the Coachella Valley Unified School District's effort to leave no child offline. Jessica Rosen-Warsel visited the high school to get a first-hand look at CVUSD's nationally recognized Mobile Learning Initiative and Wi-Fi on Wheels program. She's been recognized as a national leader and authority on the power of broadband and technology to modernize education. The commissioner addressed thousands of teachers and students at the National Q Conference. And coming up next.
Okay, so when you get that kind of attention from the federal level and everyone sees the viability in what you're doing, it really gives that community a lot of encouragement. And at that point, we can actually make the impossible possible if we work together. Now, this what I'm very, very proud of. People from around the country saw what we were doing. They started donating and giving their time, their monies. Well, this particular oil company in Texas were getting rid of their private corporate jet. And the family that owned the jet decided to donate it to our district. Amazing. This is a video of us receiving that jet.
All eyes were on nearly a dozen students from the Desert Mirage High School Aviation Academy when they accepted the keys to a donated 1979 Gulfstream G2 on behalf of the new Jacqueline Cochran Discovery of Flight and Education Center in Thermal on May 7th. The students, sporting their black button-down shirts with their academy logo, the recipients of the donated aircraft as they look to explore future careers in the aviation industry.
It's an honor to have gotten the keys because I've never been on a plane or flew in a plane. So it's very exciting to be a part of this and to get a plane for our academy.
The Coachella Valley Unified
Like
School
getting a pet
District launched
dog.
the
I just kept
Aviation
playing.
Academy at the beginning of the 2015-16 school year in partnership with the airport as part of the school district's wall-to-wall academies and Full Steam Ahead initiative. The academies are career-based around the disciplines of STEAM, or science, technology, engineering, education, arts, athletics, and math.
Now, could you imagine that? We just got a plane. We took the keys to the plane, and but that's how the Lord works in mysterious ways. And I don't mean to get religious on you, but it's true. This couldn't happen without a lot of things working together in a very positive way. And to have the president talk about it, that was the topic.
Darryl Adams is the superintendent of the Coachella Valley Unified School District in California. Where's he? There you go. Good to see you. One of the poorest school districts in the country. And a few years ago, Coachella started providing every student
That's me right there.
from pre-K to high school with a tablet of their own. Is that one of them that you, yeah? You didn't take that from a student, did you? Okay. They paid for it through a bond measure, which voters overwhelmingly approved. So the whole community is committed to their children's education. Many students still don't have internet access at home, but the district found a solution for that too. They're putting Wi-Fi routers on school buses and parking them across the district every night. This is really smart, right? So you got underutilized resources, buses in the evening, you put the routers on, disperse them, and suddenly everybody's connected.
And our students went crazy when they saw that, because they were live streaming this into the classroom. Teachers said they went bonkers because the president of the United States is talking about them. And I get a little sentimental when I see that video. I mean, he made a joke. That was great. I mean, it's funny. How many times is the president of the United States going to make a joke about you, right? Or talk about you? But it was just, the way he did it, it's just so wonderful to have that type of recognition for that community. It wasn't about me. It was that community. It was a team effort. It's truly about everyone working together. The trust, the love, the collaboration was there. And you know, it was a great day for them. And after that, I think I went back to the White House 8 or 9 times, working on different issues, next generation high schools, computers for all. And we were doing all that, wall-to-wall academies. We were all doing that, you know, and the president wasn't really aware of it, but when he became aware of it, then that community had a voice at the table. So this is the result of all this. Now the graduation rate is at 86%. That's higher than the federal level and one of the highest in the state. 95% of our students who are in career academies are graduating now in time. 98% in our AVID program, and you know about AVID, Advancement via Individual Determination, great program. If you don't have it in your district, get it in your district. It's awesome to get students ready for college. And now 40% of our students are graduating to go on to college. And of course, college career and citizenship readiness for all is a realization now for our students. So we had a big goal, we had a big vision. Some people thought I was a little crazy. What do you mean give an iPad for every kid? But once we talked about how we can do that and they saw the way to do it, everyone was on board. We got constituent buy-in because we built the trust, the love, and the collaboration, and people were like, wait a minute, you're the superintendent, what do you mean you love me? Well, I love you, I love serving you, I love being a part of the community, I love being able to help see your students go from here to college, career, and citizenship. And it really, really helped to bring parents in, and as a superintendent, as a leader, to be able to share who you really are and not just be sort of in that glass, you know, office to the side. You know, I got down, I went out once and I had an initiative. I'm a man of initiatives. I had the Walk in Their Shoes initiative where I went out and harvested grapes with my parents. Almost killed me. I mean, it was so hot. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. It was 110 degrees. But my parents were out there doing that work because they had to feed their families. But the thing they told me, they don't want their kids doing that. And so they supported the fact that we're doing what we're doing. And it was kind of funny because parents from other fields were calling, can he come over here too? I'm like, please. I lasted about 2 hours. That was it for me. But I got a sense of what they dealt with, and they really appreciated the fact that we came out. And of course, we planned, and we worked pilots. We're piloting programs all the time to see what works, to make sure our students are getting the programs they need. And it was really about the team. It takes a team to realize the dream. It's not one person doing it. Everyone works together. And when the parent sees you come to their house saying, wait a minute, you're the parent. You have to be involved now. We need your input. So I had a parent advisory, a student advisory. I talk with my unions all the time. I talk to everybody to bring them in. This is us doing this together. And It was always about the students, you know, and from time to time as a leader, whether you're in a company or whether you're in a school district, that leadership is going to be tested. Are you going to do the right thing for the right reasons? You know, and as you can see now in government, people are being tested. Are you going to make the right decisions for the right reasons? And so what I always stood upon is that I will make the right decision for students every single time, even if it costs me my job. But I love the fact that I had the opportunity to do it. I'm retired now, but I'm going around the country talking about it, helping to encourage and inspire other communities to do it, and to think outside the box. There is no box. Thank you.